Okay, hey everybody, Coach April here. First and foremost, the first thing I want to do is thank everybody out there, because as of the time of taping this particular video, my book, The Hard Gainer Solution, is #1 on Amazon in all its categories. I have you to thank for it, and that's why we're bringing you this two-part video. Part of The Hard Gainer Solution that I brought to you outlines warm-ups in terms of GPP, general preparation phase, and integrated warm-up and physical rehearsal. And a lot of you have been asking me what exactly that means. So I'm going to show you that in real time. I'm going to start first with the general preparation phase and what that means and what that implies. And then we're going to go out on the gym floor and I'm going to show you in real time what an integrated warm-up actually means as part of the Hard Gainer Solution program. So I'm definitely going to refer to that in particularly as we start. So you have to consider the general preparation phase is preparing your body to perform, preparing your body to work out. And what that means is it's a complete waste of time if you're doing a resistance training workout with weights to come into the gym and get on the elliptical, get on the treadmill and think you're warming up for anything. You're not, unless you're actually going to do a workout of the elliptical or the treadmill. So what we need to do is engage for the work ahead. And in resistance training, what we do in the general preparation phase is dynamic general movement patterns. Just dynamic general movement patterns. So what that means is arm circles, leg swings, some twisting, some bending, some reaching, and definitely unloading the knees. And I'm going to show you all that in a second. And we want to talk about warming up in terms of the joints. So 3 joint regions, and that'll be from the shoulders up, so the shoulder joint, and we want to do the core area and the hip girdle, and then we want to think about the knees. And then the other joints are incidental after that, elbows, wrists, and ankles. So we think about that as well. You got to remember that the general preparation phase is a neuromuscular event, not a musculoskeletal event, and definitely not a cardiovascular event. So, like I said earlier, getting on a bike, getting on the elliptical, and thinking you're warming up for a weight training workout is a complete waste of time. And all that also tends to tighten up the psoas muscles and makes you less limber and more tight before starting your training, which is the last thing you want. So we really want to get into that. We want to talk about engaging the excitation of the nervous system, and that's what creates readiness to train. So I'm going to show you this in real time now. I just brought a little notepad to remind me. Now I'm not going to do all the reps that are usually required. So in the general preparation phase of what I'm about to do, you'll want to do at least 12 to 20 reps of each of the movement patterns. And remember, the general preparation phase is also sequential. So whether you start from the bottom up or the top down, it must be done in a sequence in order to prepare the body for work. So I'm going to start with, if I would just walk into the gym, I would just start moving. So right now I'm just moving laterally. And that engages proprioception. It's already telling the body something different is happening. And then I just make little arm circles. Again, none of this even counts toward the workout. But the quality of your workout session is only going to be as good as your warm-up was. And a lot of people, they come visit me, they fly in, they come to the dungeon to train with me, and I'm always amazed at how they fly through a workout. They start, if they do a warm-up at all, they tend to fly through it, or else they start swinging their arms and legs everywhere before they're even ready. So I'm going to show you how to prepare properly for that. So the first thing is just even moving your fingertips, your toes, and then gradually, what I start with first is just a little elbow raise. See my limited range of motion right now, and then I'm gradually going to, as my body allows, that's the other part of warming up and general preparation, is take what your body gives you, don't force it. So I'm going to start raising my elbow levels while keeping my fist jammed into my chin, and slowly raising my elbow levels, and then you'll feel that start to loosen up, and it'll loosen up in the posterior chain, it'll loosen up back here, okay? And when you feel that start to loosen up, then we want to move into some arm swings. Now, like I said, I'm not going to do the full repetition here for you. I'm just going to do like 3 or 4 minutes worth. A general preparation phase should take anywhere from 5 minutes to 10 or 12 minutes if you live in a cold environment at a cold time of year. So we're going to start with arm circles to the back. And usually I'm counting these to myself in my head. mostly because I'm a moron and I'll lose track if I don't. So we start single arm circles to the rear, and again, do at least 12 to 20. Switch arms, 1, 2. Notice I'm not whipping my arm around, I'm just starting with a gentle motion, taking what my body gives me, You'll want to do 12 to 20 of these. Notice we go unilaterally, one side at a time. All right, then we'll start arm circles, okay, in front. I call these around the world. All right, notice that I'm kind of moving laterally on my toes as well. In the gym format, we'd actually do locomotion and move one way or the other. So you would do 12 to 20 of these. Switch arms, big arm circles in front of the body. We just did behind, or reverse motion. So we would do about 12 to 20 of these. And then start moving faster as you notice the joint starts to warm up a little bit. So now I'm moving a bit faster. And now we'll do trim orthodox, just around arm circles to the front, or front ways instead of backwards. We started with backwards. This is more traditional. Notice I'm getting greater range of motion with the reps, and notice that the reps are going faster, even though I'm not consciously trying to make them go faster. The other thing about a warm-up as well is you shouldn't be getting out of breath. If you're getting out of breath, then it's not a warm-up anymore, because it means you've pushed into the zone where you need an oxygen debt, and that shouldn't be happening in a warm-up. So now arm circles, forward. All right, so that's multiple planes of motion to loosen up the shoulders while stepping on the ground. All right, now I'm going to do some twists. Now, if you want to use a broom handle or whatever, you can. I usually count each side as 1, so 1, 2, 3. Notice the rotation I'm getting in my hips. So I'm gradually moving the warm-up from the top down, because now I'm engaging the hips, the core, the hip girdle, and the glutes. Switch hands and I'm reaching. See, reaching, so I can get that rotation. Just mild stimulation. Again, warm-ups are about neuromuscular events, not cardiovascular and not musculoskeletal. All right? So I would count 8 to 12 there each side. Then I would step forward. Now I'm going to do a rotation, an arm circle with my right arm going backwards and my left arm going forwards, and then I'll switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. This opens up the shoulders even more. And then switch. Now the left hand goes backwards and the right goes forward. Big arm circles, big arm circles, big arm circles, okay? Now we're going to move down into the lower body with reach lunges, okay? I'm going to start with front reach lunges. And again, I just take what my body gives me. This is my range of motion for the first few reps. And I like to do at least 12, sometimes 15. So this is front reach lunges. I'm alternating front reach lunges here. See, I'm already getting a greater range of motion. I'll know I'm done warming up when I can actually touch the floor, which is right now. So you see, even as I started the reach lunge, limited range of motion. As I engage the proprioceptive response, enhanced range of motion to full range of motion. And then from that, again, you don't want to get out of breath. You stand up, and now I'll go to a lateral reach lunge. Doesn't matter what leg you start with. So I'm reaching, now I'm going laterally. Again, engaging hips, glutes, opening things up. You want to do 12 to 15 of each. All right. So that's how it looks laterally. And then we want to do a posterior reach lunge. So I'm going to go away from you and just reach. Again, I take the range of motion that my body gives me. And then my body will start opening up on its own. And that's what warming up actually is. Okay, and I would do 12 to 15 of these. All right. And then I would do some reaches with the shoulders. I usually include this in the upper body sequence. I push my palms toward the ceiling, and I put my neck back, and with my palms I try to push to the ceiling. As I'm doing that, you'll watch my shoulders will start to give me greater range of motion, and I'll come back. I'll be able to come further and further behind my head. All right? And from here, and that'll engage your lower back as well, which it should, and that'll feel fine. From there, I go right into around the world, around the world, around the world. All right? Then hold on. Okay, we want to do some tubing pull aparts. And again, usually I would do all upper body, then all lower body, but I want to show you it doesn't have to be that way. So, some scapular rotations, just pulling apart. You see as I start the limited range of motion, but as I get going, I'll be able to pull right behind. Come all the way down to my waist. Alright, and usually I would do 12 to 15 of those when my shoulders feel limber enough. And then finally, before every single workout, if you're smart, you will unload your knees with tubing. I'm going to use the TRX because I'm partial to it. And you just unload your knees by displacing your body weight and slowly descending into a full squat. Again, you take what your body gives you. You don't force it. So, because I do unloading my knees every single workout, I'm able to descend almost immediately into a butt to heels full range of motion position, which is what you want. And this helps to open up the pelvis and the hip girdle and the low back and the glutes. And this prepares you for your training as well. So this is the general preparation phase. It should take anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. But there's also, what we also do is we integrate that, what we call physical rehearsal. And part 2 of the warm-up is how to integrate your warm-up into part of your workout. So your warm-up now creates a metabolic effect, turning biplexes into triplexes and turning triplexes into quadplexes, etc. So we're going to go out on the gym floor and we're going to do an integrated warm-up, show you how to sequence what I just did in real time, because I brought a workout with me from the Hard Gainer Solution. So this is part 1, the general preparation phase. Look for and find part 2, integrated warm-ups, showing you in real time how to do this. Again, part of the Hard Gainer Solution that you guys have made #1 on Amazon. I really appreciate that. So let's go out in the gym and work on part 2, integrated warm-up physical rehearsal.